Scott Tiffany, MinnesotaHockeyMagazine.com. We're enjoying our time with legendary Willard Ikola. Willard, you are the only goalie to have won 3 state titles, the only goalie to be All-State 3 years in a row. Now, you had a pretty solid team.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We, of course, we played together ever since elementary schools, you know, in our youth program. And so when we came up, we not only played hockey, but we also played baseball and football. And so this group of kids went right through the 3 different sports all the way up through high school. And we had the advantage because of our youth program, because we were playing inside and we were playing games when a lot of towns didn't have inside arenas. So we had a little advantage there. And it was just a great time. It was a great time. In our high school, of course, we had inside practices. We played inside. We played some outside games when we went to Roseville, War Road, places like that. But all our home games were inside, and we played 20-minute periods too in those days. Even though the state tournament was only 12.
But you guys played. We
played 20 all the time. Well, the International Falls would come down. You know, it's 100 miles. You don't come down and play 12-minute periods. You know, you play 20. And nobody cared. Nobody said anything. High school league didn't know about it or anything like that. And so we got a lot of playing time. When I was in 8th grade, when I was a practice goalie, just to go into the high school here, I was really thrilled to do that, you know, just to be the practice goalie there. Well, mid-season, our senior goalie got yellow jaundice. So he was out for a month. Now all of a sudden I'm the regular as an 8th grader. Maybe my head was just above the pipe. You know, I was maybe 105 pounds at the time. But I got some play as an 8th grader, but I didn't letter because you could only letter your 9th through your 12th seasons, you know. So then I got the job as a 9th grader to be the regular goalie. We lost 1 or 2 games during the year. We lost to a good Roseville team during the year. And then we won the sections and got into the state tournament. And it was a young team. We won the first game, and we lost to Roseville again in the semis. Rube Bjorkman was their star player. And he went on to at the University of Minnesota and Olympics and so forth. A very good player. And they lost to Johnson, I think, in the finals. I think it had to be 47. That was the first time that St. Paul or Minneapolis team won the state tournament. They upset Roseville.
Okay.
We also lost, the next game was to Minneapolis West. We lost the 3rd place game. And we didn't play very well. And so that was the last game we lost. The next 3 years were undefeated and went through the state tournament. Now,
so you won. You didn't lose as a sophomore, junior, or senior.
That's right. That's right. And then they went on the following year undefeated too. After I graduated from high school, and so they went up to 70-some games, I think. It was before they lost a game. But
that has so Cliff Thompson was a coach for all that.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes,
it's obviously he must have the state record for most wins ever.
Oh yes, he's
That's
a legend.
incredible.
He's a legend.
That's
he's
incredible.
a great guy. Great guy. So it was fun. It was fun coming down to St. Paul as a high school kid. We never got down to St. Paul except on an athletic trip, whether it be in football. We used to come down go for a game or something like that. And play a game against Robbinsdale or Somersault St. Paul on football. But hockey, only time we got down was for the state tournament. And of course, to stay in a hotel for Evelyn kids, you know, we never did that. We never ate in the restaurants. You know, we had one hamburger place in town. To sit down and order off a menu, we didn't even know how to order off a menu. You know, we just said, give me meat and potatoes, you know. And to ride the elevators, holy smokes, we drove them crazy, you know. It was quite a thrill. Now, we didn't worry about playing hockey. We know we were going to win in hockey. We had that type of attitude. We didn't win in baseball or football all the time, but hockey, nobody beat us, you know. And we're more worried about elevators and ordering off the menu than we were playing hockey.
So the experience, you were looking forward all season.
Oh yeah, we'd go through a wall. We'd go through a wall to
get down to
get the state tournament. Yeah,
and I think most kids today are the same way as far as I was talking.
Well, even when I coached at Edina, same way.
Yeah.
These kids from Edina, they were just as
hungry,
determined to get the state tournament as the other kids that I played with. Yes.
So now, one of the guys that you skated with, Johnny Mayasich.
Yes.
Some say the best hockey player. I had one. Well, Stan Hubbard, who was his roommate in college, said that he is very comparable, if possibly better than Wayne Gretzky.
Well, he was just an outstanding hockey player. Of course, it was the day of the straight stick. There was no curving sticks in those days, and of course he'd shoot backhand too, and he scored as many shots backhand as he did forehand. And he was a good-sized kid, you know. Most hockey players, when I played, were in the 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". You never saw a 6-foot hockey player, very seldom in those days. And Johnny was a pretty good-sized kid, 5'11", so he was a big husky kid. Played football and baseball. And just an outstanding stick handler, and just a great kid, just a great team player too. You know, he wasn't an individual star. He was a team player, and he could shoot the puck. He was good size, and he could shoot the puck.
Was he the best player that you've ever saw play the game?
At the high school level, definitely one of the better players. And then right behind him, well, he was a year, 2 years ahead of John, was Johnny. Johnny Matches was another one that played with us too. He was a year older. He was more of a stick handler and a scooter.
Okay.
John was a big, powerful skater, you know, and of course he stepped right into college hockey and broke a lot of records at that stage too. And no question that he could have played at the next level too if he had the opportunity, you know. But American kids, of course, had the mandatory military service and all that stuff, and a lot of them went on to play Olympic hockey, but then played in pro.
Well, there was really, it wasn't that he wasn't good enough to play, but my understanding is that I think Boston had his rights, and he was told by, I might have been by Cliff, that the Canadians will make you look bad. They'll purposely.
Well, I think there is a lot of that going on. You know, in those days, they thought they were the only ones that could play the sport of hockey, and made them like insiders coming in, taking jobs with the Canadians. No question about that. But I went through the same thing at Michigan during my freshman year. We couldn't play. You know, freshmen couldn't play then. They had the freshman rule.
Yeah.
And a lot of our freshmen were playing in the International League. Their goaltender got hurt, and the Michigan kids that played, there were about 3 of them that played on this team. And they said, well, we'll get our college goalie to come in and play. When the team was in Detroit, the Detroit Hedgies, and we played right in the Olympia, where where the Red Wings played.
Yeah.
And so the coach of that team was Johnny Maurer, which was an old Red Wing goaltender too.
Okay.
So I went in there and pinch hit while their other goalie was getting healed, and I had some pretty good games. And Detroit put me on their negotiation list, which they didn't have a draft in those days.
Yeah.
You were bound to that team. Well, they called me in after I had about 7 games with them, and Jack Adams was the general manager at the time with Detroit, and he said, well, we want you to, I was an 18-year-old kid when you're out of high school, we want you to play with Windsor Spitfires, the junior team. And I said, well, I can't do that. If I dropped out of college, I'll be drafted and I'll be playing for Uncle Sam in the Army. You know, and he said, well, goodbye. That's about it. You know, if you didn't play junior hockey in those days, you weren't going to play at the next level.
Wow.
Which was the National Hockey League. So that was my introduction to NHL hockey. You know, in those days, NHL hockey wasn't really, it's not like today. The minimum pay was about $6,500 for a rookie. Well, you could make that working in mine and Elwood. You know, you could make that much money. But, so the pay wasn't like it is today.
Right.
You know. So, even if you played in the minors, you got, you know, maybe a little over $5,000. Well, you could teach school there. I started at $5,400.
So you were looking at the big picture.
Yeah.
And
I really wanted to go. I mean, I think seeing the kids from Elwood ahead of me that were in the National Hockey League, I think you always dream about playing in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to coach.
That's
great. Ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to coach and teach.
Well, you blessed a lot of people. We're going to get into that in our next segment. Scott Tiffany, MinnesotaHockeyMagazine.com.